Okay, so now it's now been a little bit over 1 week since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And there's a lot that came to the table since then. A lot of things that we've seen. The FBI, the DA, everybody brought up new evidence. We now know the shooter, which we didn't know on our last podcast. So we're gonna get into that. Okay, so one of the things that I've learned now that we know about the shooter is we know it wasn't no crazy assassin, which is what we all thought last time. Say, hey, I think some of you guys disagreed with it, but what we did is somebody said they thought this was like a crazy professional hit, this that, and there's still conspiracy of whether or not this is the guy who took the shot or not. But we have no proof of that. The FBI at this point is basically saying he's the guy. And their basis for saying that this is the guy is basically based on text message evidence that they've seen with his transsexual lover. I guess this guy was a gay guy who had a gay boyfriend who was transitioning into a woman. Mm-hmm. They went because the dad ended up seeing, or the mom actually confessed to seeing her son on TV. And it's like, oh, so she's like, oh my God, I just saw my son. I think he is the guy. They bring it up to the dad. They bring it up to his attention. And once they bring it up to his attention, the dad's like, we got to get him in. So they try to convince him to turn himself in. Apparently, there's some new evidence that says that he was basically negotiating with the sheriff a peaceful transition, like turning himself in like peacefully. He didn't want no crazy stuff. He was afraid to get shot or whatever. Yeah. Okay? Well, this whole thing, right, they turned him in. They found evidence. All the evidence that we found the rifle. Apparently, they have DNA on the rag, which he wrapped with. They have DNA, I believe, on the gun. They found a screwdriver on the roof, Cash Patel said. And then now they released some text messages. Have you guys gotten a chance to look at those messages?
Yeah.
So,
I saw a few, yeah.
So what do you guys think so far about all the things I just mentioned? Do you guys have any thoughts?
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the person who was caught. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think they got the right guy?
I think they got the right guy based on his confession through his text and through his boyfriend, roommate, whatever that is. Also, you could tell that it's him based on the footage. It was obviously him. His clothes, his mom noticed him, and and then his dad was like, "Yep, that's him." So I don't know. I think everybody's kind of looking to some other conspiracy that some bigger power is behind this and something's going on. But when you really look at it and the intent behind it, he offended some weird trans activist dude, and he had the means to do something about it, and he did it. I think this was just like a sick, demonic individual that decided to take this into his own hands for nothing really besides hate speech.
Yeah.
Right?
Alleged hate speech.
Well, the guy said in his text messages that this kind of hatred cannot be reasoned with.
So we can go through the text messages because I got some things in there that I feel like we can kind of. It is. I gotta say, it is a little sus the way that these guys communicated on this text message.
I've heard people say that, and that they might be trying to use it as an alibi or something to clear the little weirdo.
Do you think it might have been somebody else or something, or what do you think? Or do you think they use it this way so they can act like?
You think that the trans boyfriend knew about what was happening?
Honestly, how could you not, bro? Like, if that was your boyfriend, they're living together, this will supposedly engrave the bullets, all this and that. Like, that thing had to know something was going on, bro. I don't buy that. What I think, because I've heard two stories. I've heard that the FBI fabricated these messages and that this is not how young people talk to each other and this and that, right? I mean,
I don't know.
The vocabulary of young people these days, they don't just use full words. They have little, and especially these fools were weirdos on the internet. They probably wouldn't just speak like that with just regular words, in my opinion. But they could also have fabricated it to try and keep the boyfriend, the trans boyfriend, from being implicated. So these could have been fabricated by the boyfriend and the dirtbag just to try and protect the trans boyfriend.
But how do you... I understand your point, but how do you fabricate these after the fact? Are you saying like they did this live?
Well, they might.
Fabricated these
I think
live?
what he means is like they might have done it after, as of confessing to doing it. So then this person's like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, let's go through them. Put this on
All
the
right,
screen real quick.
let's talk
Watch
about
this. So look at what it says. Drop what you're doing. Look under your keyboard. Supposedly, this is from basically under the keyboard. He left a note confessing to what he was going to do. Now it says, what? You're joking, right? So this person is acting as if they don't understand or they don't know. Look at this. It says, I feel gay just reading this, but I just gotta look. I am still okay, my love, but I am stuck in OREM. I don't know what that means. For a little while longer, yet shouldn't be long until I can come home. But I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret until I die of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. Right? So then they go on to say, oh, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated him, someone in a similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from a drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quite almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did you do it? Yeah, okay. Why did I do it? Yeah. This is where he's talking about. I had enough hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they move on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Okay, so then he goes on to the next one and he starts to talk about, it's almost like, it's kind of weird, I gotta say, that this is all going down on text messages. You would assume that they know somebody's going to get a hold of this. And it's almost like, if you look at what he's saying here, he knows that somebody's going to read his messages.
Yeah.
You feel me? How long have you been planning this? Now, how do you talk about this on text message, bro? That's why it is a little bit sus. Now, I don't know if it's real. Maybe it's real. But look at this. A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. He's talking about the gun again. I think they already swept to that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man was do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. So he stole his grandpa's rifle, apparently.
I thought it was a gift.
It was a gift. Yeah, that's...
His dad said he gifted it to him for his birthday or some shit, right?
Uh-huh.
To who?
To this guy.
So why does it say you can't if you don't bring it back? What's the issue?
Well, because it's his grandpa's rifle, so I'm guessing...
Oh, gifted it to him, so you can't...
He got it from his grandpa. It's like an heirloom, you know, if his dad asked for it, which supposedly his dad did ask for it.
He did ask for a picture, supposedly.
Yeah.
That was like one of the
Because he
first
probably
things.
saw the gun online.
Because they said... The FBI said that they got the gun. That's why.
So he's like, I want to see the gun.
And he was like, send me a picture of the gun if it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
He never sent it, apparently.
So well, obviously he couldn't send it, right? Because they took it, but...
Right.
Yeah.
So
then I worry about my prints. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed the outfits. Again, he's talking about leaving outfits, evidence. He's talking about a full-on confession on here. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it back. With that, I might have to abandon it, and now I hope they don't find prints. I'm guessing F, will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Even that.
Yeah, super descriptive and weird.
Descriptive. You feel me? So now, remember how I was engraving bullets? The whatever messages, I don't know what could be, what's behind that blurred message, I guess. It's just, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I mean, admitting I took the shot, I was good at it. Like, it took it out, right? I think that was a $2,000 scope. Delete this exchange. What? And then it's on and on and on about my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Okay? So that's where it's at. And this is about where it ends. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. So that's what it is. It does sound weird, but you guys are saying now my dad asked for the rifle, so that kind of adds up now, based on what you guys were saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
It seems like bull to me.
Seems like boo-boo?
It seems like it's fabricated, but it's hard to decipher if it's fabricated from someone else or from the two weirdos that were trying to cover the tracks and trying to get the trans weirdo off of any charges, off of any type of, what do they call that, aiding or whatever charges.
Yeah. I agree with you that it does look like that. I think there's two possibilities here. One, he's fabricating it to make his boyfriend or whatever seem like he's not part of it, so he doesn't go down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, this guy is a freaking weirdo, and if you see him talk and you see him kind of the way he looks and kind of carries himself, very like, you ever seen those nerds that play World of Warcraft and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
It kind of seems like that, which the speeches or the text messages back and forth kind of gives you that vibe in the first place. So I don't know. I don't think if it's fabricated. I don't know if it's fabricated because this guy's such a weirdo.
Yeah. I don't know because I have.
But at the same time, our brains now go to everything you see is fake. Yeah. Everything that's like put out by the FBI or the cops or anything like that is fake. There's like a higher evil underground power that's kind of controlling things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you're always looking for some conspiracy. There's even like people analyzing the shot. So they're thinking like, oh no, it's something else. It came from somewhere else. This is a setup.
It came from the back, or it bounced off the body armor.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies. One of the main conspiracies I've seen, I remember my brother-in-law was showing me how supposedly there was a hole right here before they took the shot, and after the shot, it disappeared. But that was actually just a little microphone magnet, and it must have knocked off or something.
It was.
But so look, let's check out the comments that they made. The exchange. Let's look at the comments on the exchange of the text and see what the people are actually saying. This is kind of funny because if you look at here, almost nobody believes it in the comments. Look at this person says, Cash Patel using ChatGPT to come up with the text messages. Oh, look at that. What kind of 22-year-old says delete this exchange? That's one thing that came to my mind too. Like, delete this exchange?
Bro, the weirdos talk like that.
Seriously?
Yes. That's very common, I'm telling you. Look at that online chat of weirdos out there. They speak like this.
So look at this right here. This is about what you said. It's a setup from the shooter trying to absolve the roommate. So obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Gen Z don't talk like this. It's beyond insulting they think we believe this crap. This looks staged. And honestly, his lover looks like him in a wig. These messages couldn't be faker. So... This is the one that kind of got me. It's like, wow. So he conveniently included very incriminating details of the crime. This is very real, and I'm convinced. Thank you, Cash Patel.
Cash Pajit.
Okay, but where are the actual like screenshots of this?
So apparently, I think there's I think they did. I think they might have dropped. Let me see. Screenshots of. I don't know if there's screenshots or if just court released documents, which is basically copies of transcripts or whatever.
This is bullshit, I think, because it's come out that these weirdos, which just like my boy said, these nerd fools, they be talking hella weird or whatever. They be on the internet. They don't be using text to talk about stuff. They were in like a Discord group, a Discord chat with like 20 other people. They're investigating that. That's the stuff that I want to see.
I want to hear what goes on in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Discord with other people, and there's some crazy shit going on.
So they actually have dropped, bro, here's one of the first Discord messages, apparently, in their group. 9:10, you see that? 9:10, 3:17 p.m. Somebody said Charlie got shot. Somebody replied, said dead. Just saw the video, holy shit. R.I.P., I guess. Bro didn't deserve to go out like that, sad. And then somebody right here, hey guys, I have bad news for all of you. It was me. Again, this guy, apparently.
Yeah, oh, how convenient.
At UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this. I'm surrendering to a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times, laughs. You've been so amazing. Thank you all. Like, how is this guy going around just confessing, bro? It doesn't make sense. Unless he feels like he's going to be a hero, looked at as a hero. Do you think? Because some of these people do feel that way. So they'll do it. They're like, I'm giving out my life for a bigger cause. He thinks he's going to be a hero. And unfortunately, he did become a hero for a lot of liberal,
weirdos,
stupid people, weirdos who are celebrating his death.
Those people are sick.
Who feel good that somebody died and got shot in the neck.
Yeah, it's actually grimy, bro. I seen there's a Reddit thread called Chiracology or something like that, and it normally talks about the violence with the gangs in Chicago. And apparently these fools were making memes and like crazy stuff. There's that fool, Trap Lord Ross.
I don't think so.
Trap Lord Ross, you seen him? He's a little British like hip hop commentator. He's kind of like the British version of DJ Academics. That's what he does. He makes little videos, and he made a video on it. It's crazy, bro. They really are rejoicing. Like they were calling him a G and saying that he's got bodies now, and he got more bodies than most of these rappers. Like they was glorifying it, bro. It's crazy.
So do you see how demonic that shit is?
Yeah.
To glorify a dad, a husband that had kids, somebody that's never said anything hateful towards anybody else, but spoke his mind and wanted to preserve people's right to free speech.
Yeah.
That person they killed, and they're happy about it.
Well, these fools in particular are like the scum of the internet. They celebrate everybody's death, not just Charlie Kirk's.
You know what I like about this whole thing? It shows who the scum of this world is.
Yeah.
All these dirtbags that you would think. I've seen videos of even people that work at a church or are like leaders in churches, like making videos, like laughing about it, dancing about it. Can you believe the evil that is out there, bro?
Yeah.
Regardless of who it is, somebody lost their husband and their dad and their brother and son and everything else.
Yeah.
And the fact that you would be happy about that brings you joy to your life.
And it's not even just that he was killed, it's the way that he was killed in public in front of his wife and one of his kids, from what I was told.
Yeah.
And in front of all those other kids on that college campus, bro. That's despicable. That's like,
yeah,
it makes it even worse.
So this is why I think it's so funny when I see all these people that made these videos, posted them out there, and now they're getting fired by their job or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is the smallest type of satisfaction that I get from this whole thing. Just watching these evil people suffer from this.
Yeah, dirtbags.
They deserve a lot more than that, but at least we get that.
They're gonna try to get on food stamps, and Trump is cutting that too.
Yeah, screw that.
Over with your
Scumbags.
So look at who's an advocate for free speech. Now that you brought this up, I feel like we can probably get into that part. There's some other things I'm going to get back to. A couple other things about some facts of things that have been debunked since the shooting, and some truth that we have. But since you brought up free speech, look at what Mr. Newsom is saying. The number one person who was about censoring, right?
Yeah.
Said buying and controlling media platforms, firing commentators, canceling shows. These aren't coincidences. They coordinated, and it's dangerous. So it's coordinated and dangerous, right? And he talks about the GOP does not believe in free speech. They are censoring you in real time. Who does that sound like, guys? Does that sound like liberals, Democrats, people who've been canceling everybody for the longest time about just speaking the truth?
Yeah.
Is it about
Cancel
right?
culture.
Cancel culture? Wasn't that a thing where if you didn't agree with if you said you didn't believe with trans stuff, if you didn't believe, if somebody even questioned anything about COVID,
if you didn't bake a cake for a gay wedding, you
got
shut
canceled.
down.
Like basically we had not just free speech, bro, but the right to live our life the way we wanted to, and we got forced into everything.
Yeah.
And now the tables have turned a little bit. And now you guys are all crying about it. I'm sorry, Mr. Newsom. I'm sorry. And Jimmy Kimmel makes stupid freaking comments.
Yeah.
You guys seen the video?
I haven't seen the video. I just saw that he got canceled.
I'm gonna
Which is
show you
great.
the
audio
video.
of
He
it,
sucked
but yeah.
anyways. He was on his way out anyways.
He was. That might have been just the
He
excuse.
was a
but
scumbag.
He was a loser. Literally, most of his jokes was just talking.
It wasn't
crap
even
about
funny.
Trump.
They just had a laugh button there every time, like,
Yeah, nah. The Mexican guy on that show was the funniest part, bro.
yeah,
What's his name? Guillermo or something?
yeah.
He was funny.
Scumbag. You got the video? Post the video so we can see the scumbag. Did you see the video of him crying?
No, I didn't know he was crying, but
Yeah,
he
he
should
was
be crying.
crying
Let me
about
see. I'm
getting
trying to find a
canceled.
short one. So here, I think this is what got him canceled. I think this might be the video. Let's take a look
All
and
right.
see.
You got audio.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me turn on the audio real fast.
Yeah, Kimmel's been sucking.
Bro, he
He
sucked for a
sucks.
long time. But it's not just him. It's most of these late night shows.
Yeah, it's literally almost all of them.
They
Bro.
used to be
And
funny
they're all getting
back
canceled
in the day.
too.
But there's YouTubers that make funnier shit.
Well, that's what people are talking about. Like, nobody wants to see this, bro. People will rather watch iShow Speed just going out doing random
Just
things.
racing random people, foot races.
Yeah. Bro, foot races, like that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, or playing Fortnite, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
10 years from now, these
like, what's
people
up?
are going to be
Pulling up.
probably not. They're probably going to be extinct. I don't know. But here, let's watch this video.
Let's watch this scumbag.
See what you guys think about this.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
Here's everything you need to know about the off-key monologue that got Jimmy Kimmel's show pulled indefinitely.
Good.
The controversy began during Monday's show when the late-night comic started off by claiming that MAGA was using Charlie Kirk's assassination to score political points. But Kimmel didn't stop there. He went on to call out President Trump, who is scheduled to deliver a speech at Kirk's memorial service on Monday, for what he deemed to be an insufficient reaction to the murder.
In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Kimmel then doubled down, sharing that it wasn't the first time since Kirk's murder that Trump redirected a question about the Turning Point USA founder back to the White House ballroom.
And it didn't just happen once.
When I heard it, I was in the midst of, building a great, for 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom at the White House, right? They don't have a ballroom. They have to use tents on the lawn for President Xi when he comes over. If it rains, it's a wipeout. And so I was with the architects that would design. It's going to be incredible. And they came in, they said, Charlie Kirk is dead. I didn't know what they meant. I said, what do you mean dead? Charlie Kirk was
Why are they
shot.
laughing? Why are they putting laughter behind it?
And they
Those
thought
assholes
he
were
was
laughing
dead
behind
because
it.
it was
They were
so
showing
horrific,
this.
And I said, dead.
These assholes were basically playing the video, showing their audience
Yeah.
live, and they were laughing about it.
And they're laughing about Charlie Kirk dying.
They're
Can you
trying to
believe this?
say that Trump doesn't care, but I don't know. He's probably not trying to talk to random reporters about
No,
like
bro,
his feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking official business.
And he
with them.
asked him about. He mentioned Charlie, but then he said, well, "Okay, so how are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, he's a president. He has other things that he's doing at the same time. It's not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, not just that, bro. Like,
not
as a
insensitive.
president, you're gonna see people get killed and smoked all the time. You have to keep it together. What do
He
you
almost died.
You cannot. Yeah, you can't be out here showing emotional weakness on
Yeah.
a national stage.
If this fool would have been crying some shit, then
They
we
would have
would've
made
got
fun of him
attacked.
crying.
Yeah.
America would have got attacked because
You know-
he's showing weakness.
Yeah,
But look
exactly.
at who got canceled for making fun of it. Finally, your time has come. You know how much boo-boo this guy was talking shit
yeah.
about everybody?
Yeah.
And he celebrated so hard when Tucker Carlson got canceled on the news station. What was it? Fox News.
Yeah.
When they took his contract, he says, they party ways. Well, let me tell you guys what that means. It means he got fired. And he was like, ha ha, laughing. And it's like, where's he gonna get a job now on? What's the other news station, the conservative one, like Now News or whatever they call it? He was just making fun, and now look at that. The people are saying that didn't age well.
Yeah. Scumbag. And then I like how he jumps the bandwagon. It's like, it was one of yours. He was one of yours.
He's trying to imply,
Actually, everybody was right about this person. He was a part of the LGBT community. He did have a boyfriend with whatever.
Well, he's one of the main FBI investigators from that state came out and said liberal ideology. And the woman was like, how do you determine that? It's like his parents were talking about how he was starting to be very involved in politics. His family apparently was a conservative. But he was basically like the weirdo who kind of broke away, and he got so crazy and stuff, moved out apparently. Like I think he moved out. I don't know. I thought I read somewhere online like over a year ago or whatever. But he basically left and moved in with his boyfriend. If he had a family that is a conservative family, you know they wouldn't agree with that, right? Because conservatives, no matter what, even if they let you be, we believe in a man and a woman. That there's no something else, right? Being together,
Right.
Or even marriage. Like we don't agree with same-sex marriage, regardless of whether it's legal or not. It's just not the way we look at it, right? So his family clearly weren't really probably getting along that much with him, and apparently because of that, he was super emotional about politics. He probably didn't really like that.
Yeah, but supposedly he was actually you grow up in a house with everybody's a Republican. You have the same mindset. You're normal minded. And what changed him was him getting accepted to that school. Apparently, that's what changed him. As soon as he started going to that school, he started being more part of the liberal activism out there. Apparently, there's an Antifa group out there at that school, from what I heard. But there's a big presence of LGBT trans rights there.
Oh,
so a weirdo
I don't
kid
even understand how I
ended
thought
up going to that school, finding somebody that accepted him, brought him in, and that's it. You're done, bro. Like, you just lost your kid to this woke idea, mind disease.
Yeah, and now he's probably going to get the death penalty.
Right. Just because he ended up going to a school like this that indoctrinated him. And that's what Charlie was talking about.
That's why he was there. He probably chose that school to go there on purpose because he wanted to debate these weirdos on those types of topics. But
Well, supposedly they had about 20, a bunch of schools signed up for this.
There was one in every state. They're going to go hit every state.
Yeah, so after this, apparently they got like thousands and thousands of schools like trying to get them to be part of this. I don't even know. I'm actually quite shocked how much even the liberal. I'm not going to even say liberal because I don't think it's far left liberals. I think it's more like a moderate Democrats who are on board with not supporting, but like showing love when it comes to this, because a lot of people. I think I would have expected a lot more people to be hateful. Now there's a lot of those because. Even a small percentage out of the hundreds of millions of people that we have, it's going to be a lot, right? But I expected a lot more by percentage of Democrats to be hateful. Yeah. And I was quite shocked. One person who I actually got a lot more respect for was even Eminem and Snoop Dogg. And I think, who was it? 50 Cent and Dr. Dre. They actually, apparently I don't know if they canceled or delayed a show to stay back and pay tribute in a moment of silence, which I was kind of shocked because they were super like, I don't know if you were like liberal left or whatever, but Eminem was very controversial when it came to making statements about the right wing. About
Eminem
MAGA.
was a libtard. He was a libtard.
But didn't that shock you?
50 Cent he was a Trumper.
50 Cent, but I mean, wouldn't you be? Aren't you guys surprised about Eminem at a very minimum?
Yeah,
I'm shocked. The libtards are probably gonna say, yeah, it's because he's white. But
yeah, but you know that honestly, bro, that shows a little bit of maturity as far as like, you know what? I don't like where you stay politically. I'm the whole opposite, but you know what? This person, you know, what happened to them was not good, and I'm gonna show that. That's not good. I'm not going to stand with that, right? And just because here's the thing, whether you say something or you don't say something, that's still communicating a message.
Oh, yeah.
The people who are staying silent, especially nowadays, I see a lot of pastors who are basically staying silent about it. And there's other people who are making comments about, like, if you didn't bring this to light or didn't even talk about this in your churches or bring awareness to this and what's going on, and at least show a little bit of love and some tribute to the person who fallen, because he was probably one of the most, like, influential conservatives of our time.
Yeah.
10 million followers on TikTok, bro. I don't know any other pastor who's influencing the youth like he did.
Yeah, bringing so many youth to Christianity, bro.
Exactly.
If you're a Christian pastor and you didn't say a prayer and acknowledge at the very least, then I don't know, man.
At least a little prayer for his family. Hey, let's pray for our brother who passed away, for his family.
Yeah.
You don't have to go political.
Dude, he got this isn't like, poor guy, he got hit by a car or something, whatever.
Yeah.
This was an assassination. The last like public assassination that's happened was what?
Martin Luther
Kennedy?
King, I think, no?
Was it Kennedy?
I don't know when it turned like political violence like this.
But this technically-
like something that hit worldwide. It's not like, I didn't hear about it. This shook the entire nation.
Well,
what
yeah.
happened to Charlie Kirk?
Well,
this is
world-
huge, and
Yeah.
the fact that he wasn't just a political commentator, he was a Christian first. That was his legacy. Is going to these colleges and talking to these kids, and the number one thing that he spoke was about Jesus, right? So you as a pastor or as a spiritual leader, when you hear that one of your own was taken out in such an evil way, the least you can do with your platform and with your voice is to shed a little light and some respect to show people who he was and what he was doing. Because all of a sudden you see on TikTok and on Instagram, there are thousands of people that most of them didn't even know about Charlie Kirk like that. Maybe they've seen some videos here and there.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they're buying Bibles and they're going to church for the first time because of what happened.
Those were some
And you
crazy,
as a pastor, if you're a pastor or a church leader or something like that, and you said nothing about this, not even a moment of silence for him and his family, then you should be canceled.
Yeah, but nobody's
People
expecting
shouldn't go
nothing
to
crazy.
these. No, you should not. If your pastor didn't say anything at all about what happened, then you should find another church.
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
I think it was kind of, I don't like that. I think it was staying silent on something that even, bro, stadiums and like people of the world, which what we refer to, right, as Christians, paid tribute and showed a little bit of love and said prayers, and we're getting together, right, for it. And if you're not going to show a little bit of love for your fellow brother in Christ, if you're claiming that you are, you know what I mean? Like, you don't got to do nothing crazy. You don't got to talk political stuff. You don't got to, even if you weren't feeling his political agenda, if you had different beliefs. But if you're talking about how you guys both had a belief in God and he was a Christian brother and all that, like, you should probably show some love, So
a moment of silence, a prayer for the church, pray for his family or anything at all. The fact that this impacted worldwide, there was crowds of people in South Korea going around chanting Charlie Kirk's name. In the UK, with what's going on in the UK, same thing. There are people out there waving flags and speaking out about what happened with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
It's worldwide, and you as a Christian pastor in the United States, you've seen it. This isn't like something quiet.
Nobody didn't
and you
see that.
say nothing at all.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, but you're a garbage pastor. That's
And here's one thing, bro. I'm gonna play something for you guys. This guy, I seen him on TikTok, and I'm not sure, like, God makes miracles happen and whatever, and sometimes God turns things from bad to good because like God, it says there's nothing that God does without purpose, right? So if this happened, it's unfortunate, but God's gonna probably turn it to good.
Yep.
And so many people woke up because of it. But I've seen this thing right here that was kind of like, man, I've never been into a crazy like how people try to prophesy and
right.
like little prophecies that people try
Symbolism.
to like. A lot of times I feel like people are fake on the net. This thing was kind of interesting, and I didn't fact check all of this or whatever, but check this guy out and let me know what you guys think once you see it. Watch. Oh, what was that?
Want to see how prophecy unfolds in real time? Watch this.
Let me go
What
back to it. Can I go back?
time did This is unreal. Do you want to see how God speaks to us? Do you want to see how prophecy unfolds in real time? Watch this. At what time did Charlie Kirk get shot? He got shot at 12:23 p.m. If you go to John 12:23, what does that say? It says, "And Jesus answered them, saying, the hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified." It goes on to say, "Truly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit." Now, what is actively going on right now? Charlie Kirk's death has brought hundreds, if not thousands of people to come to Christ. And most, if not all, Christians have a fire raging inside of them glorifying Jesus. And it's not only in America, it's across the globe. Check out Sydney, Australia. This is the UK, Madrid, Spain, the Polish Parliament, even Austria and Germany, New Zealand, and even in Tel Aviv are all honoring Charlie Kirk and glorifying Jesus. Murals are popping up everywhere. But that's not all. Check this out. Charlie died on September 10th, and John 9:10 says, "So they were saying to him, how then were your eyes open?" It goes on saying, "He answered, the man who is called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, go to Siloam and wash. So I went away and washed, and I received sight." I've seen, and I'm sure you have too, so many Democrats and lefties coming out, opening their eyes to seeing the evils of their party. Not only that, there are countless amounts of videos of people that have never opened up the Bible, opening it up for the first time, going to church for the first time. Their eyes were anointed and their vision is clear now. They're saying they're seeing Charlie Kirk supporters and Christians from across the globe. Instead of burning cities down, they're coming together to comfort each other, praying and honoring Charlie Kirk's life. People that are lukewarm, people that are atheists, people on the left, they're all seeing this and they've opened their eyes and they're saying to themselves, I want that. They're asking themselves, how can they react this way after losing someone so dear to them and coming to the realization that I want to know their God. God's timing is always perfect. Now listen to this. In Genesis 50:20, it says, "But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive." Evil actions of men never override God's plan. He can weave even betrayal, injustice, and tragedy into his greater purpose. What was designed to break you can be used by God to build you, strengthen you, and fulfill his will. The enemy may try to silence voices of truth, but God can use that attempt to ignite a greater movement and bring about more good than before. Praise God.
Dang.
You know, that was kind of like, I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's crazy,
makes
because
a lot
I
of
have
sense,
seen
yeah.
people all over the world. Now, I know not everybody in those crowds and everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, I just want to praise Jesus. There's other people that maybe don't believe in it, but they liked him or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But all the, like, so many comments I see on so many videos, even random videos of him talking about how I went back to church, I went and picked up a Bible, I started reading again.
Yep.
There's a guy who said, I'm a 60-year-old man, and my son, my younger son, was a fan of him, and after this happened, I came back to church because of my son. My son introduced me to Charlie, and just his message kind of like resonated with me. And he preaches about a lot about Jesus, right? Because his beliefs were based on, they were basically coming out from him, but his religion is, or like not his religion, but his beliefs were Christian. So then guess what?
Yeah.
Whatever's inside is gonna flow out, you know. So that was kind of interesting to see. Now I don't know, you know.
That's very interesting.
Especially those numbers and the way they, I mean, I was, the other day I said, well, maybe it was just a coincidence, but somebody said,
It's always a coincidence.
I said, maybe it's a coincidence, but somebody said, hey, God doesn't have coincidence. God has plans, you know?
Exactly.
So that's what I seen in there. But now I want to get back a little bit to the guy who everyone thought that he was making head movements and he was saying shoot and whatever they thought, the conspiracy, right?
Come on, man.
That guy came out and made a speech on it, okay? And I wanted to show you guys right here. And maybe we can play this too.
People are always looking for something deeper than it is. He scratched his elbow. It's like, come on.
This is actually kind of sad, bro. I'll play it for you guys and then we could talk about it and see what they said about this guy. And now that
This is my boy.
it's brought back up, it's like, damn, bro, like they basically, and maybe we won't watch all of it because it's 5 minutes, but I'll show you guys some of it.
All right.
Now, here's what Erica wants me to relate on Sunday. this is going to be the hard part, but maybe also the comforting part. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older than Charlie. He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit, if your son got hit, what would you do? What would you do? I got in the car. Because if there was any way I could save him, I had to do something. And I couldn't just, okay, just take him. You guys got it. So they got him into the side of the car. It was an SUV. It was the SUV we took over. And I'm on one side, and there's actually some video of this. Somebody was taking video of this. I'm on one side of the car, the right side, and they're getting Charlie in. So I run over to the other side, but the guy who was dragging him in is now blocking that entrance. So at that point, I run around to the back. I pop the back gate open, and I jump in the back. The car lurches forward. Apparently, somebody jumped in the car. So the car lurches forward, so I almost fall out of the car, or the SUV. Then I grab the thing and close it, and there's 5 of us in the car now. Justin is driving. Dan is up front with the GPS. Rick has got him. Rick's on my left, and Brian is there, and I'm coming over the back seat, and Charlie's laid out in front, just right in front of me. And Charlie's so tall, we can't close the door. We drove 4 miles, I don't know, it's 4 something miles, all the way to the hospital with the door open. To this day, I don't know how Brian stayed in the car, because we're just go, 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 go. We're trying to stop the bleeding. You saw it. And I'm yelling, come on, Charlie, come on, come on. Meanwhile, my phone is still on. My son and daughter-in-law are hearing this whole thing. And a security team, again, Justin, Dan, Brian, and Rick, they love Charlie. But they were much cooler than I mean, they're just carrying out, they're calmly, but they're swiftly doing exactly what they were trained to do. Rick starts praying out loud. I'm praying out loud. We're yelling, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. My son's hearing all this. And we're doing the best we can to navigate traffic. This is not a highway. We're on surface streets. And suddenly there's an ambulance coming toward us. And there was conversation in the car. Should we stop? We're like, no, just keep going. Just keep going. The doctor later said that was the right thing to do. Ambulance goes by us. We're still heading to the hospital, trying to get there. At one point, somebody says, let's get there in one piece, because we're cutting through intersections. We're just beeping the horn. This is not a emergency vehicle. There's no lights. There's none of this. And I go, we got to start CPR. So I try and start that. Now, Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later. But of course, we had to try. And by the way, there was just nothing any of us could do about it. We were giving him CPR, but nothing was happening.
I'm going to stop it right there. But see, like, this guy was prosecuted for a while, maybe for a few days a week. This just came out. Everybody's talking crap how he was doing signs and conspiracies. Like,
he was the one with the hat.
He was the guy with the hat that was videotaping straight to the side, all that, how they were saying he was videotaping.
Yeah.
And
he's probably on FaceTime.
It sounds like he was on the phone with these kids or something. Yeah. But he was like one of the guys that rocked with him. Like, you can see him, there's videos of him popping out of the SUV with them coming out and all that. And it sounds like he's like a Christian author or whatever.
You guys don't know him?
I don't know him.
He's huge. He does a lot of Christian videos, a lot of speeches, a lot of he goes and speaks to schools, universities, that kind of stuff. He's a preacher. He's a pastor.
But can you imagine, like, when he saw the conspiracies online about him making signs?
Yeah.
Imagine you, like, bro, this guy sounds like he was heartbroken over it. Imagine he had to give him CPR and he was looking. imagine you're looking at your dad, like he said, it was like a son to him. They probably, there's a reason why he was with Charlie.
Yeah.
They were probably doing work together, ministry work and stuff like that. Because even the pastor at our church, he said that he's in a group, he was put in a group chat by Charlie with 20 other pastors across the U.S., which is like basically their tight group of pastors who are like on the same mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, like the reason why they were for here with our church is because our church was like a super influential church when it came to the area, especially because we're in the center or like the capital of California also. You know, and you know, he really liked what our church stood for, so he put him in there. But this guy was a pastor, apparently now, like based on what you're saying. And imagine you're the pastor and you hear those things about you on the internet. And now that you hear the story, bro, this is pretty sad to hear. Someone had to, like, obviously the worst part is for Charlie, but imagine you being him too.
Yeah.
You feel me? Having to see that. You're traumatized for life. This guy will never forget that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Bro,
what I'm
I
saying?
was traumatized, and I saw it on video.
And
I saw it in 4K, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I literally couldn't believe it. When the first
couldn't
time I
believe
saw
it
it,
either.
I couldn't believe it. I had to watch it again because I thought it was fake. I was like, there's no way.
It did look fake because of how gory it was. It looked like a movie, bro.
literally, I didn't even think that's possible in real life. So that,
Bro, I was literally traumatized for a freaking week straight. However long it's been. That's how long I was like depressed after this happened. I was like,
yeah, that is crazy. It's crazy stuff to see. On the flip side, the guy who got arrested for allegedly in the beginning saying he was the one who shot him or get me.
Yeah.
Apparently that guy was throwing a little sissy fit because he wanted to take the attention so the actual shooter can get away. Now I don't understand how that could be legal, right? Because they ended up apparently like So I'll tell you guys the whole story about it. They grab him, and I think they said that something about they took him to interrogate him or something like that. And then they were asking him about going through his phone type stuff. It's like, no, you can't go through my phone because I have child nudity. That's where I have my child stuff on there. You know. So
did they go through his phone?
So apparently when they heard that, they went through his phone, and now he's arrested on child, you know.
CSAM.
Oh, that tells you so much.
Is that the term you can use? That's not
That's the abbreviation. That's what Apple had supposedly released some software to try and flag it. It's
Okay, so now you can see the demonic spirit that lives in these people. The fact that you would be happy about this, you would be rejoicing this kind of evil, and now he has CP in his phone, right?
Well, that was the dirtbag who they snatched up on the campus who was like, "Shoot me, I did it."
Yeah, they should have shot
But
him.
well, I mean, his point is that look at the kind of people that are siding with this thing that aren't for it. But I don't know if you guys seen, but there was a viral clip of a lady who asked these two kids, and she asked and said, "Hey, guess who just got shot?" And they're like, "Donald Trump." They're like, "No, I don't know who they named, but the next best thing." And the kid said something else, and then like I don't know if eventually they got to that or not, but bro, they were teaching these kids how to become evil spirited people, to hate people, to think that it's okay to be happy to murder somebody. And apparently the woman who made that video, she's a school teacher, which that should never be it. And that's the reason why people should probably be careful who their teachers are. If you can, unfortunately not everybody can, but if you could put your kids in private school, or at that point, when you got a teacher like that, bro, you better off probably even homeschooling your kid. Imagine that teacher indoctrinating your kid. Even second worst part, apparently the lady's husband was some sort of big shot colonel in the army. Okay, now, I don't know if they have the same views, but I would almost bet that most households will probably hold the same view. I know there's exceptions, but do you think that guy had the same view? To think it's okay to kill a political, like, activist, you would say?
I mean, come on. For the most part, I mean, how you going to have a marriage or any type of relationship and you guys don't agree on basic, fundamental, like, you know what I'm saying, what you live and what you stand on, like your morals and, you know what I'm saying?
If your wife doesn't have the same political views that the husband has, the wife has no respect for the husband. And if you guys can't even talk about those things, like I know someone that said, oh, I'm not. My husband doesn't know who I voted for.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
how do you?
weird.
You guys are married. You should know everything about each other. You should agree on everything.
Yeah.
You should agree on religion, politics, and what your life goal is together as a couple.
Yeah, how you want to
If
raise
you-
your kids, the environment you want to be
He's like,
in.
no, I'm not telling him. It's none of his business. That just means that the husband has no spine, and he's a freaking how do you say
Politically
correct
a wimp.
a mangina.
Or what they call him
idiot.
now? No, they call him. I just learned this word like 2 weeks ago. It said a cuck.
A cuck.
man.
Okay, he's a
cuck.
Anyways, he's a cuck. Like you're the man of the house, and your wife is like, "Nah, I'm not telling you who I voted for."
So
what do
here's
you mean,
Here,
you cuck?
I just thought about something, right? Like, let's say that was the case. It could be acceptable for a very small time period if for some reason you guys were both Democrat or Republican, let's say, and one of you guys start to kind of have a feeling or start to like enlighten yourself and say, hey, the Dems aren't the right people. And for you change your political view and you're trying to slowly convince your wife. I can kind of see it that way temporarily. But if you guys were both like in a relationship and you're a hardcore this and she's a hardcore that, a lot of people, bro, they say politics and religion, they don't mix with people, right? Why is that? Because you can't have separate views and get along.
Yeah.
Because those are religion and politics stem directly from your core values.
Exactly.
You feel me? If you're not going to have the same values as me, if you have the values of killing babies, you have the values of same-sex marriage and all that, you're probably going to lean on that spectrum of the political agenda, right? But if you have the beliefs of family, raising your kids right, none of that, then guess what? You're going to be more of on the Republican side. And a Republican can't get with somebody on the other side. Supposedly, they just did a study where back in the day, maybe, I don't know, I think it said during the John F. Kennedy's time, they had a survey or something like that where they asked people if they could marry what do you call it?
Party or
Opposite party, right?
Yeah.
And the stats were like, I think a big portion of people, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was maybe like, let's say 70% of people said, sure, like, yeah, no problem. Because the values were pretty much aligned. There was some political differences like, okay, maybe I don't want to pay for this or for that, but moral, political views were all pretty much close.
Right.
Nowadays, apparently they have another research thing. I think it was like Pew Research or whatever. And the numbers were crazy high. If I'm not lying, it was like 70-80% of people said, no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I can see why. Because if I believe in this thing as a moral standard for myself, I can never go that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you 100%. It all stands for moral values. If your moral values is that it's okay to have abortions and it's okay to have same-sex marriage and that kind of stuff, then you're obviously going to lean towards that direction. There is no other option, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'll have a better time believing those things and being on the Republican side than being against those things and being on the Democratic side. Because if you don't believe with the Democrats, they'll condemn you.
Yeah.
They'll fight you. They'll try to cancel you. They'll do everything to harm you, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other side, they'll reason with you. So, yeah, it all stands for morals.
You know
if
what's
your wife doesn't
interesting?
have the same morals, then
Now that you just said
You're
that,
right.
one thing I find interesting is there's a lot of conservative figures that go to these campuses and do the debates. Have you ever seen a liberal figure doing that?
no. There
Only
isn't.
on the net, bro. You got those weirdos like Hassan or whatever, Hassan Piker. He's straight up extremist piece of shit.
Well,
like,
on the net, I could see it. Like, there's a guy named called Gene something, whatever, right?
There's a couple of them, yeah.
But, I mean, on campuses or publicly trying to actually debate people who would walk up to him. Have you seen
No,
that?
they don't
I've
do
never
that.
seen that before.
They don't do that. That's because they don't debate. They don't want to talk. They want to destroy. They want to cause chaos. They want to get results not based on conversation with each other to reason, but based on force.
yeah, and honestly, bro, at the end of the day, like, what separates us from like animals in the wild is like intelligence,
Right.
and being able to have conversations and like democracy. You know what I'm saying? Democracy is what? It's where we get together and we say, hey, we're going to vote on this.
Right.
And the people are in charge of what happens in our community or in our country or in our state. So that's what separates us from damn wild animals. Wild animals, they ain't got no rules, no morals, no nothing. It's just survival.
Right.
So that's what these libs are basically turning into, is just wild animals with nothing.
Yeah, well, what did Charlie say? The moment we stop talking to each other, that's when democracy or the civilization collapses. Because violence.
That's when violence comes in.
Yeah, so you stop talking to each other. You can't talk to each other anymore. Now the only thing that they have left is just violence.
I mean, you've ever seen a video of a lib that's having a debate, and when they no longer have answers, they start to like try to push them or snatch their sign or like
they get angry or something. Yeah. I seen a video of oh my God, bro. It was like a conservative person that was doing like a street interview, from what I understand, and they was asking like, oh, okay, well, she kind of led her into the, so you think it's okay to have abortions thing? Did you see this one?
No, I haven't.
Well, as soon as she was like, basically made her feel stupid just with questioning and reason, she assaulted and beat the shit out of her.
Oh, you talking about the light-skinned black lady that got whooped? Like she was bleeding from this freaking person?
Yes.
You
seen that one?
Yeah, I didn't see the full thing, but I've seen the like highlights of them. Like I know what you're talking about. Though.
That's the perfect example. She was real nice and regular, having conversation. As soon as the conversation turned on her to where she started to feel stupid, she got violent, bro.
Yeah, it's because these people don't have a conversation. They don't have the knowledge to back their claims up. They're going based on feelings. And if you can't really reason with feelings, I can tell you like, well, that's because it's rude to say these things, or hate speech. The whole point of hate speech. Bro. It's not because there's something behind it. It's because I feel like it's hateful and you shouldn't do it. Not for any like reason or fact.
They know deep down that they're wrong, bro. They really do.
I don't know. Some of them, I think
it's almost like they don't have souls, bro. Like,
well, that's what I've been saying.
Honestly, bro, there's not much you could do. Like what this guy Charlie would probably said. Like you just gotta pray for them that God will open their eyes, because you saw what this guy was saying. And to credit to a lot of them have been kind of awakened from this, because they were like, man, like deeply inside, we got persuaded by these ideologies and stuff, but we're not bad people. And we can't be happy about what's going on. Right. And because of that, I know I want to side with this, and I know I kind of believed it, and I got persuaded that way. But I think there's something more to this, and we can't be on that side. It's just too much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bruh, put like, I don't know, obviously there's no comparison, you know what I'm saying? But like, if something were to happen to Biden or say Kamala, we wouldn't be like, oh, hell yeah. We'd be like, wow, that's bull. I can't believe that was allowed to happen. How did this happen? That's not what this country is about.
Yep.
Even though we don't agree with them.
Our own if they did something like that.
Exactly. Even though we don't agree with them, and I really strongly don't agree with them, bro.
Right.
Like, we would still be devastated that this was able to happen.
Yeah.
Bro, the only people I feel like it's justified to, even then I wouldn't be too happy about it, because like I'm not going to celebrate people's death. Because at the end of the day, God made everybody in his own image and stuff like that. But there's evil terrorists out there, which those, when they get bombed, I can't, like, I'm not celebrating that a life was taken. I feel bad that they were born into the thing that possessed them to try to take people's lives away. But those people are the only ones that I can maybe say, okay, we
you could at least not mourn it.
Exactly.
Right.
But like, I wouldn't be
I'm not
happy.
going to jump up and down and smiling and let's throw a party because this happened.
Bro.
But
yeah.
Exactly.
When evil gets killed, it's not it's a good thing that people are agreeing with, but nobody's gonna jump up and down and rejoice that somebody died regardless. And you know what? Somebody made a good point. I saw somebody online. He said that do you guys see the comparison between what happened with Charlie and what happened to George Floyd? Do you remember what happened after George Floyd?
Yep. Riots,
burning buildings,
businesses,
destruction for a whole summer, dude.
Yeah.
Destruction, just chaos everywhere. And this was different. This was a straight assassination, live for everybody to see.
Yeah.
And have you seen any buildings being burnt down? Have you seen anybody committing violence?
No.
Have you seen anything like that besides people putting murals and showing love and respect for what happened?
Yeah.
And for his family and the people in his community.
Yeah, this was...
You know the difference?
Yeah,
That's Democrats Republicans.
Yeah, and here's another difference too. That this was premeditated. The other one was a something that happened in the moment, right?
Exactly.
Which, bro, the guy didn't deserve to die, right? Why? Like, it sucks. You feel me? No matter what, right?
Yeah.
You can't be celebrating that. Here's another thing too. These guys burnt down buildings and cities over what? Someone who, for them, they didn't even know the guy.
No.
Exactly.
He was not known until that day, right?
Some random person.
These people, bro, have been listening to this guy for years, fans of him for years and years and years, and none of that happened. The worst thing I've seen on the net, a fool got whooped for trying to destroy some freaking.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Charlie Kirk, little like memorial.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's about the worst thing I've seen so far. Now, I mean, maybe there's more out there. I don't know, but
No, the libs would love to plaster that on the
Yeah,
net.
they would have.
They would have loved to plaster
would've
that
seen
on the
that.
And
net.
you know what else? I see these freaking libtards before this happened, right before they caught the guy, talking about it was one of their own. Do you see? It was a Republican. It
Yeah.
wasn't even he wasn't trans. He wasn't nothing. He was one of their own.
Yeah.
Laughing about it, like spreading it everywhere, posting about it. They even had. There was a guy on Twitter that makes fake propaganda shit.
Yeah.
Edited a picture of the killer with
with
Trump.
the MAGA shirt or Trump shirt. I seen that.
So they plastered that everywhere, okay? And whatever, it was too soon. They didn't know, whatever. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But then when they actually found out that they were completely wrong, and we were right about it, that he was some
100%
activist
right, bro.
and some trans activist, everybody stay silent?
nobody's talking about it now.
No. All of a
And-
sudden, they don't go back and like, you know what?
Yeah.
We were wrong about that. You guys are right. He was a trans activist. He did have a transitioning boyfriend. He was a Democrat. All of that. Like, nobody
was,
wants to bring it up, right?
Yeah, but credit to the trans boyfriend. He's been cooperative in helping the investigation. Now, I don't know if there's some fakeness to it, but I wasn't expecting that. Personally, I wasn't expecting that. Were you guys? Like,
Nah, bro. I'm not buying that. I'm
I
not
don't
buying
you
care
that.
think it's
about
boo boo? But I'm just saying, like, he was helping out a little bit, right?
No, what happened to the
Supposedly
note?
he wasn't. Supposedly he wasn't cooperating for a while.
Yeah, what
Really?
happened
I
to the
heard
note?
that-
No, he said he was. They said that he wasn't cooperating and he wasn't speaking to the police for what, like 2 days down there.
What happened to the note that was supposedly left?
They apparently, Cash Patel, I think this is what he said. I believe that they destroyed it, and forensic, whatever they did, they were able to like restore like the messaging and whatever of it.
Yeah.
Now we don't know what's going on. I guess apparently they're still
They
still
haven't
investigating
released that.
certain
Why
things,
have they
right?
not released that?
I think it's still
I
a
don't
little
know.
too soon, and they're trying to gather all the facts before they give you anything.
They don't want to come out because here's the thing that bit this fool in the ass. Cash Patel, because of the Epstein thing, and a lot of people are talking shit. Like some people were saying, oh, the people who are like, I don't know if they're hating on this or they're just being conspiracists, but they're like, oh, good. Oh, yeah, good one, guys. What about the Epstein files? Like they're trying to act like this was a distraction. You know, one of the
I seen that,
conspiracies
bro.
was that.
They pulled him into, what was it, Congress or some type of a little interview thing.
Yeah.
And they was grilling him about the fact that he released the info on Twitter before the local authorities could release it. And then they diverted to the Epstein stuff.
Yeah. But what he was saying is like, hey, we're trying to be transparent.
Yeah.
And the issue here comes with when we're trying to be transparent so quick to dump things out to the public in real time, we also could make mistakes. We got one guy. I said we have somebody in custody, a person of interest. It turned out not to be the person. And they're like, well, you said you had somebody and then you turned them back out because you said it wasn't the right guy. So what the heck was that? And he's like, girl, I gotta admit, I was just trying to be transparent. I'm trying to put out info in real life time fast for the public, you know, because he says when we don't have information, we start to create conspiracies in our own mind. So he's like, I don't want that to happen. So I want to put out as much information as I can. Now, we may make mistakes. We might say one thing and then we'll figure out it was something else. But we're trying to be as transparent as possible.
And he has a point. If you don't say anything, people make shit up, right? And then if he takes too long to release anything, they're covering something up. If they say it too early and now they found more evidence and they come out with it, well, hold on. What are you guys, stupid or something?
Yeah.
You guys don't know? What do you mean? You're the FBI. How do you not know? So people are going to criticize regardless. But honestly, when I didn't know what happened, I was like itching, bro. Like I was researching the same thing over and over again to find out what happened about Charlie and who and what. So yeah, I'm glad that he gave us something, you know?
There's some other information, bro, that kind of came out. There's two things that happened since the Charlie assassination also that were kind of interesting when it comes to Israel, because that was a conspiracy that people were saying that, hey, this is what happened. Allegedly, Israel offered him $150 million in order to basically get on his good side and kind of almost help spread the Israel thing to double down on it. And he did not take it. Another thing, Benjamin Netanyahu apparently invited him over to Israel, and he also allegedly refused it.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing there. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that Israel just did, apparently, and I looked it up because I saw it on TikTok. I was like, this can't be true. Israel just bought $50 million worth of ads to spread awareness about the war, so people don't think that. Basically, so the opposition on the internet, you know, since the internet is kind of like starting to turn against Israel a little bit, they bought $50 million worth of ads with YouTube and Google in order to try to basically correct the messaging,
Sway the public,
the public based on with ads and all kind of things like that.
Isn't that illegal?
What type of ads are you gonna make? I don't know. I've never seen an ad about war,
bro.
That's war propaganda.
I don't know. Maybe they're putting those freaking sob stories or something. I'm not sure, but there was some things about Charlie asking questions, and he says, "Hey, I love the people of Israel, and I stand with Israel, but challenging their government is a separate issue." He says challenging the government and what they're doing, that may be a different thing. Just like when Biden is in the office, I really didn't like his agenda or the government at the time. However, I still loved America and the American people. So he said these are two separate topics. Those are some of the two things that I thought was kind of interesting. And then Candace Owen comes and doubles down on everything. Y'all seen her on the net?
I seen a little bit, but I honestly stopped listening to her because she did the Kanye thing when she went crazy. So I don't really know what she
crazy. She was talking about how, well, a lot about that same story, right? About Benjamin Netanyahu. Apparently he sent the letter, whatever. He's saying he's not being transparent. They try to invite him to there and he denied it, whatever, all that. Then he tries to say, or she tries to say that Charlie was battling with these guys because apparently like all the donors who were donating, they were like not liking the way that his messaging was starting to kind of take shape. He was asking questions about Israel, and apparently a lot of these donors were probably more of on the Israel side of the when it comes to this stuff, right? So she goes out there and starts to blame a guy named Bill Ackman, and says that Bill Ackman had a meeting with Charlie and a bunch of his people in the Hamptons, and apparently things went really, really wrong, right? According to her. Well, she's assuming that because he was a pro-Israel guy or whatever, and he's a billionaire, he like talked crap to him or maybe tried to blackmail him or something was going to happen or whatever, right? So apparently she's out here texting people that she knew that were at that party talking about, well, telling me what happened, whoop, whoop. And they're not getting back to her, so she's out here creating her own like suspicions of what could be. Well, this guy, Bill Ackman, comes back on the internet and he just releases text messages because he's like, this woman's crazy. Here's what we really talked about. And he releases, if you want, you could even put this on the screen, but it says he published his text message with Charlie Kirk to dispel Candace Owens' Israel blackmail allegations. Okay, so check this out. This is the messages. This doesn't really look like blackmail. I mean, they might be real, maybe they're not. I don't know. But this would have been not like on an accident. So this would have been what? This guy, Bill Ackman, right? How are you? That's green from him side, right? I'm doing great. Really enjoyed our time together last week. Thank you again for doing that. That this would have been Charlie, right? It doesn't sound like he got blackmailed or nothing. It was great and great to get to know you better. We should do the dinner sometimes with the ladies. Absolutely, that would be awesome. Let me know when you'll be in NYC and we will have you over. Say thank you. I will. We are there a few times this fall. Great. Just let me know. Now that's what he published. Whether this is, look, there's people talking crap here.
I think Charlie's the green one,
bro.
You can see Sauce Money from PBT. Sauce Money talks from PBT podcast. PBD podcast. The Valley Timmy guy says no one believes you. You're Jewish, therefore have you now Well, I can't even read. Have you now have zero credibility? Did he say it wrong? Or
He
am I-
said it
Have you
wrong.
now
Or
have
I was
zero-
thinking. I was thinking.
You're having a stroke.
I was having one. Don't you get it? Duh. So like, is he being sarcastic here?
I think so.
I think
don't know.
I think he's talking shit.
He's talking shit. How people will act like it's fake. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jew hate is literally the only air people breathe. Any random Jew is now guilty for any crime that happens around the world. And what's onus? It's not anus, right? Is on us to prove otherwise. Pretty sick stuff. And I do believe that. Bro, there's a lot of people right now, everything is pointing to Israel. Anything somebody did, Israel did it. Israel did it, Israel did it. Especially because he came along with the dams, and then you had the Candace Owens switching up. And
Yeah.
here's another claim that Candace Owens made, which is so irrelevant and stupid. I can't even believe it. She started talking about how Charlie was actually in the process of converting to Catholicism. Okay? And he was actually there with his... You better quit. So...
Go ahead.
So she's out here making these claims, right? Whatever. And how the rosary, he was rocking with the rosary, and she was telling him, Charlie, just make the next step. Okay? I don't understand how you
I
would
haven't
think...
seen Charlie with the rosary at all.
Oh, well, apparently the only thing that could be true, and I'm not sure, I didn't fact check this, but apparently his wife was born into a family of Catholics, which I doubt she would be a Catholic now, but apparently she had some sort of what's that rosary thing, and apparently like when somebody dies in your family, the Catholics rock with the rosary for 9 days and pray for them. I don't see nothing wrong with that. A rosary is just a cross chain, whatever. It represents Jesus on the cross, whatever, right? Yeah. But that is apparently a Catholic thing. I had a rosary back in the day because it's a little cross, and
To
I'm
me,
Christian.
that just represents Jesus and God.
Nothing wrong
Isn't
with that.
Catholicism a different
It's a form
interpretation of Christianity?
It's a form of Christianity, yeah.
It's a Christianity based on a lot of tradition and not religion. So they do a lot of traditional stuff that isn't like according to the Bible. The Bible doesn't tell you to.
They
do
worship
all this
saints
stuff.
and stuff like that too,
They
right?
pray to the saints, which I think that we've already had this discussion, but
Yeah.
they pray to the saints on behalf of themselves, like, hey, Saint Michael up there, can you please tell Jesus to get back to me?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But
So
anyways.
here's a thing. This guy right here, if you want to put this on the screen, this guy, I kind of came across I've seen him before on the internet and whatever, and he made a message. Apparently he was cool with them, but he kind of replied to that, and I want you guys to see what he's saying and see what you guys think.
Yeah.
Candace, sister, you know I love you and George. I prayed for you guys. I prayed for you before you got married. When I spoke at Blexit back in 2019, I think it was. Back then, you were talking to the universe. You were praying to the universe. And I remember telling you directly, I said, why don't you pray to the one that created the universe? And I was so excited when I began to see you dive into the Bible and get bold about your faith and talking about Jesus. To take in the wake of this tragedy to social media and project and tell the world that he was, after living a life devoted to Jesus and the Bible and the Christian faith, he always just talked about Christianity.
Yeah.
And he talked about the Bible. And he talked about Jesus. But to then have you go on social media and post that you believed that he was converting to Catholicism, when he's not here to say whether he was or wasn't. But to interject that at a point when America and the world is reeling over his loss, to me, it's so off that I had to make this video. Anybody that is pointing someone that is hungry, which there are millions of people right now that are hungry for what Charlie had and what he carried. And for anybody to try to point those hungry people to something other than Jesus is not right.
Yeah, agreed.
So then he has a follow-up video that he posted. It was more like about just Charlie speaking, right? And I'll find a video for you guys, but it shows Charlie speaking about something like this, not like a little while ago. I think this might have been the one. So here, let me play this one. And he was talking about this same topic that he just brought up.
Yeah.
So let's see what he's talking about here. This is Charlie. This apparently was, what did he say here? In July. And I doubt he changed his mind on something this strong in 2 months.
Yeah, bro. Since he was in 5th grade.
So check this out.
To this.
Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Of Catholicism. And I mean, look, I love Catholics. You know, as people know, I'm very close to even my...
Restart it because I think that we need to get the first part of it.
One of my major concerns of Catholicism. And I mean, look, I love Catholics. You know, as people know, I'm very close to even my local Catholic priest, Father Klein, great guy. My wife was baptized Catholic, but I have some big disagreements with Catholicism. And the first of which would be Mariology. But let me first say, I think we as Protestant evangelicals under-venerate Mary. She was very important. She was a vessel for our Lord and Savior. Mary is a phenomenal example, and I think a counter to so much of the toxicity of feminism in the modern era. However, I would say Catholicism goes way too far. Catholicism believes two things as dogma, and most Catholics, if you ask them this, some don't even know. Number one, do you believe that Mary was sinless? The Catholic Church does. There is no biblical basis for this, the only of which would be that Mary was full of grace in the Annunciation of Mary in Luke 1. That is a big stretch. By the way, that was not even added into official Catholic dogma till the mid-1800s. The second of which which is called the Immaculate Conception. There's a second form of Catholic dogma that believes that Mary was assumed into heaven, that her physical body was actually the Assumption of Mary, was assumed into heaven. Again, that is a pure faith claim. It is not biblically supported at all whatsoever. So I think that we as evangelicals can do a better job of remembering, studying, talking about, and pointing towards Mary, because she was a vessel chosen by God Almighty that brought our Lord into this world. But I find biblical evidence to the opposite. I find biblical evidence to show that Mary was sinful like all the rest of us. In fact, I see biblical evidence that it says very clear, I think, in the book of Romans that no one is sinless except Christ Jesus. This is not a major issue for me between me getting along with Catholics, me loving Catholics, me thinking that Catholics are doing a great job for the planet or for the world. But I personally would not be able to enter into a faith that believes that anybody except Jesus Christ our Lord was without sin. And that's my final comment on Mariology. Happy to debate it with others if that ever surfaces. So again, we're also here on the Charlie Kirk Show. We're very ecumenical.
So do you think with a belief that strong 2 months later, you think?
No.
I know he doesn't believe that. She's full of doo-doo. And also, I don't know if you've seen him debating Michael Knowles. He's a Catholic from the Daily Wire. So they did a thing together where they were talking about religion. They were kind of like, he was giving him a hard time about being a Catholic and whatever. Mm-hmm. But he was debating him about his Catholic belief, questioning him in a fun way. But you could tell Charlie Kirk was not on that level.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
No.
I would have a hard time because I'm not sure. I mean, sure, there's been people that went from Christianity to Catholicism, right?
Yeah.
But Christians are very stubborn about their faith, okay? And Catholic people or Catholic people, I hardly see any Catholic person stand on their religion or even mention it. Like, I see Catholics all the time. They don't talk about God. I don't see it. I don't really see them talk about Jesus or do what we do, kind of like discipling and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like they stand on their religion as strong as Christians do. So I'd have a hard time somebody kind of going or percentage wise, how many people would go to Catholic versus the other way around. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about it, but I'm having a hard time with that. And the way I saw this message, I don't know, bro.
Most of the Catholics that I've seen, they call themselves Catholics almost like you were born into it. You know, it's like, yeah, well, my parents are Catholic, so I'm Catholic. Mm-hmm. They're not like a practicing Catholic. Most practicing Catholics, they go to church, they go to mass, and they do their little
misa,
the prayers and that kind of stuff. But it's more, they treat it more as a traditional thing that they do than a spiritual thing that they do. So that's why Christians are usually more passionate about this.
Yeah. So now another thing that she's been battling for a while, and I'll just bring this up and we'll get close to an end here. But now, since she was talking so much crap about Emmanuel Macron's wife, Bridget, talking about how she's a man and is a transsexual, right?
Yeah.
They sued her. So they went and they were going to sue her. They said, hey, we're going to file a lawsuit, and they did. And they offered her to withdraw her statement about it, and they'll drop it. Well, apparently she didn't do that, and she doubled down on it. And she said she'll fight till death, till the end, and she'll put her whole reputation on this. Well, now these guys are going to present evidence to the U.S. court to prove that she's a woman. That's what their lawyer said, okay? Now, I'm not exactly sure.
The fact that they need to.
Okay, now I'm not sure how we're going to get the evidence and what type of evidence we're going to show. My guess is some sort of medical records, which people are going to say
we don't
probably
want that.
false.
We don't want that.
They've been fake, yeah.
But the other way around, like, I'm not sure what other evidence you can see, brother. Like, what are you looking for?
A live stream. I'm not saying I want to see it, but the only thing that can't be tampered with, and it probably can be tampered with these days, is a live stream.
Well, live stream, there people are going to say it's AI, right? They should just get her, what's her name? Candace Owens, to go do, what do they call it, a cavity check?
A pap smear?
A pap smear. Go
It's
figure it
not
out.
that hard. Have you guys seen the movie with what's his name? Jim Carrey, Pet Detective?
Oh,
you
Ace
remember
Ventura.
where the captain was a tranny, and he pulled down the skirt. He had to show the bulge.
Oh my god,
that's what they need to do.
Yeah,
on live TV.
So apparently they're going to. This is a defamation lawsuit, which basically just means that you defamed him by talking shit. Like, let's say something that's not real. It has to, if it's factual, and they can't prove that it's a woman, then that means she's right. So therefore, it's not defamation because she's speaking the truth.
Yeah.
You can't say the only way that you defame somebody is if you speak things that are not factual.
Maliciously.
The fact that
you have to know.
The fact that they're so upset about this and they're going around suing and all kinds of stuff kind of shows that maybe there's something behind it.
Yeah.
Because people have been talking about Michelle Obama being a man for like the longest time.
Have you seen them pictures of little bulges and weird shit?
I believe it.
Bro, I'm not gonna, honestly, I gotta tell you guys, I'm not gonna believe that because here's the thing, bro. Let me tell you something. No matter what, you grew up in this world. There's people that know you growing up, all kinds of things. If you was a boy, somebody would have known. Somebody from your past would have came out like it's a man or it was or whatever. Like I doubt that somebody wouldn't have known that. But here's the statement that their lawyer said. It says, it's a process that she will have to subject herself in a very public way, but she's willing to do it. She is firmly resolved to do what it takes to set the record straight. I don't know if that's that big of a deal or that important to her.
Hey, what's the big deal? You're an old hag anyways. Like, whatever. If I was hella old like that and somebody said, I don't think you have a pecker, I'd whip it out and be like, look, bro. Like,
hell yeah.
But hey, bro, I did look for photos of her.
Of her pecker?
No. I did look for photos on the internet about to see some pictures of when she was young or as early as possible.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't find nothing too crazy. I did find a photo of her looking maybe like 10 years old or something, which looked like a girl. You get what I'm saying? I doubt that a parent back in that day, in that age, would entertain something like this, right?
Yeah, but these are French. They're weirdos.
I mean, they are different types of folks. But she was allegedly even his teacher, right? That's the weirder thing to me. Is that she was his teacher.
That is the funky part, right?
Yeah, check her photos.
This is a funky relationship regardless. And yeah, I mean, I could kind of understand the case for people thinking or Candace Owens believing it might be a trans because, you know, a lot of trans have these weird fantasies of, and they end up turning out to be pedophiles and having.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you think you're a man or whatever, or vice versa, or whatever, like,
yeah,
you got a messed up mindset when it comes to sexual type stuff.
Exactly.
And there's no draw. If you can't draw a line. You feel me? Like they don't have a line they draw because they just keep trying to.
Because that line is offensive.
Well, no. What I think happens with that kind of mindset and thinking, maybe I don't know. I could be wrong, but my guess is they start thinking like, all right, I gotta like satisfy my sexual desires. I'm gonna try to be a man. or a woman, or I'm gonna act like I'm a woman so I could do like this fantasy stuff, whatever, and then that no longer satisfies you because you're just never satisfied of who you are.
Yep.
And then you start thinking about other weird stuff, and then you go from there to the next to the next. That's how rich people do it. You know, you see a lot of rich people that they get all the women they want. They can get any women they want, right? They got billions of dollars, they get women, they can bring in whatever. And then they start dipping into like pedo stuff.
Yeah,
and they bring
or-
in younger and younger and younger
or gay
till-
stuff or something.
Exactly.
Like
Some Diddy
allegedly
stuff.
Diddy.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
bro, that's
It's a sickness.
I'll never get that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's, you have something. It's like a damn plug and an outlet. They go together. It
Well,
works
because-
every time.
Have you guys seen the doctor that was talking about like pornography? Said that the reason why pornography is so dangerous to people is because you start out small with something like normal stuff, right? And then you get that dopamine hit. But then all of a sudden that small stuff that you watched wasn't really hitting anymore. So you start to look into weird stuff, like weird things, right?
Like
now you get that
midgets?
dopamine, yeah. And then all of a sudden, supposedly the statistic is that a lot of people that have been addicted to that for so long, they tend to watch like gay porn because they're not getting that dopamine level that they did with straight stuff.
Bro,
And that leads to pedophilia and other stuff. So down the line, it's like a drug. You need
how do you ever get away from what you're into, though?
You only get away from that stuff when you get caught, and the shame is eating you alive.
I'm just saying, like, how could you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like women, bro, like, if you, I'm sure we all know some dogs out there. They can't even control themselves. Like legs, butt,
feet,
tits,
It's a
feet,
sickness, bro.
anything about a woman is what they're into, and they can't really control themselves. So I just don't get how you could ever get away from what you are into.
Because they have a sexualized mind. So everything that they think about, everything that they look at, everything they see is just, it's some sort of like addiction to them. They don't ever fight back with those type of that mindset. And it's almost like a spiritual battle at that point where everything is like causing you to see it in like a you know, like a sexual way or something like that.
So
I'm
they're about
serious.
to start chairs and fucking guitars, cuz.
Bro, I'm serious. Like
But
some
there's a
stuff like that
story-
can only be gotten rid of with like a spiritual like healing.
There's a story I heard, bro, about this guy who's supposed to be like such a crazy sex addict. He said he can't do nothing because all he thinks about is that.
Yeah.
He said this fool goes to he was talking about how, I didn't hear that. Somebody told me the story, right? I don't know the guy. But apparently, like, everything reminds that fool of something sexual. He said even the car wipers. He said every time they go like that, all he thinks about is like, I was like, what the hell? Like, how?
Dude, that's a corrupt
imagine that.
mindset.
You remember that show, My Strange Obsession or something? And that guy who did it with his car?
That's nasty.
Oh, I feel like that's stupid. That's fake.
He was like making out with the hood, bro.
Some of these fools trying to get clout, though, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on one more thing, though. Last thing before we leave. Trump just dropped a post. He says, I'm pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster
Hell yeah.
as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So he basically said they're a terrorist organization. What does that mean for them?
Well, that means that they could actually investigate these people.
With no warrants, with no nothing. They can detain indefinitely.
Bro, this guy never misses.
And they could smoke them if they want, honestly.
I mean, they could throw him in Guantanamo Bay.
Well,
Hey, good, bro.
A terrorist technically could get shot and killed for no reason. Like if they just say, "Hey, you're a part of that," I could.
Well,
how do
you
you
don't
think
have
they drop-
rights if you're
How do you think
considered a
they
terrorist.
drop bombs on them and kill them all over the place? You know.
You don't have rights if you're a terrorist.
I don't think that's gonna happen here. I think they're gonna go in and prosecute or like arrest them and investigate them. I don't think they're gonna do what they're
Yeah.
doing to those terrorists and with their boats, you know, dropping bombs on them.
Yeah, probably not here at home. But you know what I'm thinking it might happen? I think this might be his foot in the door to figure out who's donating and who's funding these. Because a bunch of these Antifa wannabes, I think there's just a bunch of dumb libs
Who the legend, like George Soros? Allegedly?
Something like that, whatever. Because he did actually say we need to investigate George Soros. He like publicly said that. And I think it's just a bunch of dumb fools who think that they're gonna get whatever for the cause. They're probably getting paid. They're getting funded. They're sending them places, and they're doing. And hey, I'll go throw some rocks and create some chaos. And I doubt that a lot of these guys will take that job on now if they know that this is what they're categorized as.
Yeah,
because as soon as you put a little black face mask on and act and look like an Antifa, you're done. The cops can literally take you now.
Well, that's my thing. Now you're giving the power back to the cops for them to do something about it. Because before it was Antifa, but they were just protesting. They were burning buildings and all kinds of shit. It was a peaceful protest. Now the cops have the power and the authority to do something about it.
There's nothing peaceful about that.
No.
And here's one thing too. Like, I'm not gonna say that I've seen a lot of people get canceled lately for them speaking of what they thought about the Charlie situation. I don't personally agree with it. I don't think anybody should have got canceled for it. I think it's freaking disgraceful that people are thinking that way. And even if you think that way, keep it to yourself. Don't put it on the net, because I don't think people should be able to see that. Like, you shouldn't be happy about somebody's sorrows, right? But I still believe that we should just have freedom of speech as long as you're not calling for violence. Right?
Exactly.
Well, that's what freedom of speech is.
But that's why I'm not really with the fact that they are canceling people, even with that fool Jimmy Kimmel. Am I happy they canceled him? Yes.
Hell yeah.
But do I agree with it? No.
Well, nobody canceled him. It's not like they showed up to his studio and they shut this shit down.
Not that way, but his own people canceled him.
Well, his own people, but they saw some evil in him and said, you know what? I don't want to deal with this kind of stuff, and we're shutting it down. It's kind of like the people that got fired from their jobs because they posted a TikTok or Instagram reel or something about laughing about what happened with Charlie or anything like that. Yeah. I don't have any sympathy for those people, and I think that the employers have every right to know what type of people they're employing, and if they don't like that type of person, they have the right to fire them.
Oh yeah. Because you're representing.
I would do the same. If I had somebody working for me that was going around spewing this type of disgusting rhetoric out there, like laughing and loving it, and I'm so happy that this happened, and this is a day to rejoice, I would fire them. Because not because of what they said, because they showed their character, and I don't want that type of person working for me. And I think I have every right to, right?
Yeah, it's completely legal.
So now that you put it that way, I could see it from a person like, hey, I don't want to work with these people.
Yeah.
So if the people on the show like, dude, you're taking it too far. This is not really cool. That's not who we stand for as a network.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see it, because ABC, who has his show, is also part of Disney, and now people are calling for Disney to be boycott because of you're basically like showing that to people that's okay to laugh about people's death, right?
Good.
So that I can kind of see it that way. But like, if they were to go as far as like trying to cancel his like Instagram channels or things like that, I wouldn't agree with that.
Nah.
Well, nobody's canceling him personally. They're canceling him on a professional level.
Well, I guess his own people canceled him, right?
Well, yeah, but they have the right to, no?
They do. Well, because you're representing a bigger entity, whoever you're employed by, your thoughts, your views, especially if you're putting it on the internet or on national television like he was, that is representative of who you work for, bro.
Exactly.
But I agree with my boy that we do have our First Amendment right. You got the right to freedom of speech, but your employer has the right to get rid of you if you don't align with them or if you're representing them poorly.
Right.
So you could say whatever you want, but good luck, finding a job or finding someone who's going to accept that.
Yeah.
I can see it from that point of view. Like, whatever. If you decide that, hey, I don't want to work with this guy, I don't want him part of my deal or whatever, I don't want to associate with that. And that happens all the time. It's true. People make dumb statements online, whether it's left or right, and their company says, we don't agree with that. We don't want to be. That's not who we are. That's not our values. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to go.
Right.
I can kind of see that. But okay, if it was, though, for them to actually cancel his networks and he's this and he's that, what they did to like Tate or what they did to other political figures, or like even Kanye, like, which Kanye kind of was putting some hate speech out.
He took it a bit far.
He took it a little far. But just saying, I think we should still honor our freedom of speech, regardless whether you're a lib or you're not, or you're this or you're that. As long as it doesn't lead to violence, you're not calling for violence.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's what we should do.
that's where the line gets drawn, because we can't allow them to pass any new laws, whether it be Republicans that are pushing it, that could infringe on our right, the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the reason why the First Amendment was put in place was so that we would never be controlled over by, like a dictatorship type of deal. Like we're a democracy. You have to be able to say what you want in order for that to continue. And same thing with the Second Amendment.
Well, we're not really a democracy. But.
Well, now
Republic.
We're a republic.
You guys remember how they were before this incident happened? Trump and his administration was saying, "Hey, we should probably do something about trans people owning firearms." Well, all of a sudden, all the trans people and all the left wing activists started to
Now they want guns.
Now they're pro Second
They're
Amendment,
fighting
saying
for the 2A.
that is not okay. You get what I'm saying? So there's always a way to get everybody on board. Unfortunately, like the gun violence sucks, and Charlie was a proponent of like how it sucks, but the Second Amendment is important also,
Well, there's a reason why there's already stuff in place for mental illness. And if you look back, I mean, one of our partners in the chat was talking about how as recently as 1980, it was considered a mental illness to be not just homosexual, but transsexual. It was a mental illness, diagnosed everything.
Yep.
And then they started passing some little liberal, bullshit laws to declassify it from a mental illness. Mm-hmm. But there's laws that prohibit people who have documented mental health issues from owning firearms. So we already have that in place.
We just need to acknowledge that is a mental illness, and I don't think these type of people should be legally able to purchase firearms until you. It's kind of like if you've been in like a mental institute or asylum or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What is it, the 5150 crazy place that people go get put into?
Yeah.
I don't think those people are healthy enough to own a firearm. I think there should be a system or a way for them to get the help they need and to kind of come back to society, and then it shouldn't be forever type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we've seen what happens with
it looks
people
like
with trans ideology.
Well, it looks here like they added it as in the American Psychiatric Association, they added homosexuality and transsexualism under mental disorders. Trans issues were framed through diagnosis like transsexualism or gender identity disorder. So that was introduced then, 1968. The APA introduced gender identity disorder as a official diagnosis. This how do you say that?
Pathology?
Pathologized being transgender, treated as a mental disorder, rather than recognized as an identity. The World Health Organization included transsexualism under a mental and behavioral disorder. Okay, and in 1944, it continued to label gender identity disorder, reinforced the idea of being a psychiatric condition. 2013, they removed, this is probably Obama, right? This is Obama year.
Scumbag.
The APA removed the gender identity disorder and replaced it with gender dysphoria. So that's the different now important distinction. Being transgender itself has no longer classified as a disorder. Instead, only the distress some individuals feel due to the mismatch between their gender identified and assigned sex was recognized. This framed the diagnosis as about helping people access care, not labeling identity as an illness. So basically, they went, instead of a mental disorder, they called it a dysphoria.
So they kept softening it until it became a what does this say? Identity. It became an identity instead of a mental illness.
Yeah.
So schizophrenia is a mental illness.
So
right?
look at this.
Is
The WHO.
Is that also an identity that you could just?
Yeah, I identify.
What do you mean? I'm talking to my other homies in my head.
So check this out, bro. In 2019, which none of us probably even knew this, the WHO officially removed transgender identities from the chapter on mental disorders, introduced a gender incongruence under a new section on conditions related to sexual health. This was a global milestone, fully
Depathologizing.
Basically,
depathologizing.
That's basically saying that they're not pathological crazies or whatever, right? Trans identifies and recognizing them as part of a human diversity.
Depathologizing.
So they took a serious condition that people need help, and they actually need some recognition that it exists, and they turn it into, well, you could choose to be this, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's an identity. So now, when you start to accept these mental illnesses, you have no cure for it. There's no reason to cure it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's widely accepted and even can be taught to children, and it's totally normal.
Well, you
guys.
see here,
it's completely fine.
You see here, like a summary of it says 2013, no longer a mental illness, reframed as a gender dysphoria. 2019, globally removed from mental disorders, now seen as a health identity matter, not psychiatric illness.
So what happens when a actual mental health issue or a sickness that you would have, let's say you have, I don't know, a hernia, all of a sudden it's not a medical thing, it's just something that you choose. It's an identity. It's not an issue. It's just what you choose to have. Either you have a hernia or you don't. So now there's no cure for it. There's no, right? We're not going to talk about it because it's offensive.
And it's not covered by insurance.
Yeah, so get your insurance right. All right, boys? All right, so good looking out. Thanks for watching. And you made it this far, drop a comment or give it the thumbs up.
If you made it this far, we love you.
Yeah.
In a totally hetero way.
Hetero way.